Ladies and gentlemen, what is going to give you the confidence to sit down with a business owner and ask for their merchant statements? Either a business owner that you know in your network or a business owner that you're soliciting. What's going to give you the confidence? Interchange rates. Get their merchant statements. If you're on our team, we will offer them. If we cannot save the money, here's a $100 bill. We promise that. We guarantee that. You get on our team, South Bay Merchant Services, we will send a $100 bill to them. Okay? How can we be so confident, so cocky to know that we will save them money? Interchange. You've heard this numerous times on our videos. Interchange. It's the wholesale processing rates. Visa, MasterCard set processing rates. Okay? They give these out exclusively to level 1 service providers like Lucrazon or big corporations, franchises, businesses that do super high volume. These processing rates, Arby's or Starbucks, Wendy's, Target, they are all paying the same interchange rates. They're non-negotiable. Do you think a mom and pop shop, donut shop is paying the same rates that Target is? Heck no. Until now. Until you walked in the door. Until Lucrazon Global gave you the opportunity to partner with a level 1 service provider like Lucrazon. It's called interchange. Now let's look at the most common pricing plan or pricing structure that 80 or more % of businesses are on is called tiered pricing. Are businesses exactly familiar with these terms? Interchange, interchange plus, tiered pricing? No, because they don't even know how to read their statements. They're so tired of not understanding their statements, they just, phooey, whatever. They just allow their processors to charge them whatever they feel. You walk in and ask them, are you on interchange? Well, I don't know. Oh, well, interchange is the wholesale processing rates. Let's check it out. Let's see what you'd qualify for. Okay, that could be enough right there. Are you on tiered pricing structure? Well, I don't know. How can you tell? Well, let's look at your statement. If you see this, qualified, mid-qualified, non-qualified. This is how you know it's on tiered. Tiered, there's 1, 2, and 3. Some tiered pricing structures have up to 6 tiers. The most common are 3. Qualified, mid-qualified, non-qualified. This is what it'll look like on a statement. Qual, M-qual, N-qual. So for example, there are tiers. The first tier, qualified, will be a very low rate. Look at this one. It's 1.05 plus a 25% authorization fee. Very low. Wow. When somebody walks in and says, I can get you on paying 1.5%, businesses say, wow, that's great. What they're not telling them is the other tiers, the mid-qualified rate, which is 1.95 in this example. The non-qualified rate is 2.95. 3%. That's a large jump from the 1.05 they were promised by this salesman, in a with his fancy talk. Okay, that's how businesses hide higher transaction fees. We'll look more into that. Let's read this right here. Visa and MasterCard do not charge tiered pricing. They work on interchange. They work on wholesale rates. It's the merchant service provider who creates the tiered pricing structure. Each MSP or merchant service provider determines which transactions go under which category. The riskier a transaction, the higher you're going to pay in fees. Risky is non-qualified. Non-risky is qualified. So what one company will determine as a qualified transaction, another company may say that's a non-qualified transaction. There is no regulation or consistency in this process. None. This is not regulated by the banks. What is regulated by the banks are interchange rates. Just understand that. What is regulated by the banks is interchange. What is not is all these other fancy pricing structures like tier. They are invented by merchant service providers in order to hide fees, in order to mark up interchange rates. It's a trillion-dollar industry. There's that much profit because merchant service providers are marking up interchange. And they're doing it in blatantly non-transparent ways. Once you can read statements, you can just see it. Well, why are you paying a non-qualified rate on this transaction? I don't know. You are not going to be notified that, oh, looks like you're being charged on mostly non-qualified rates this month. Your MSP is not going to let you know that. They're just going to charge you that 4% or more. So the most common form of pricing is tiered because it's the easiest way to hide fees and charge higher rates. This is a copy, a screenshot of a statement that we're in the midst of closing. Here's their MasterCard rates, their Amex rates, and their Visa rates. This is they did a lot on Amex, 25,000. They did 3,000 on MasterCard, and let's just say 4,000 on Visa. These are the MasterCard rates. Let's look at the MasterCard rates, okay? This is a qualified rate. Right over here you can see it's 1.69, or the basis points are 16 basis points. 1.69 for the qualified discount rate. Look at the non-qualified discount rate. 3.9%. Look at this little guy down here. This non-qualified rate is at 7%. Granted, this month they weren't, only $6 was charged at that 7% rate. What about next month? If this merchant is not looking at his statements, he did on MasterCard here $4,000 on MasterCard. What if 2,000 of it was charged at that non-qualified rate at 7%? That's $140 that goes unnoticed, and this happens all the time. This is why merchant statements are 7 pages long, because most merchants are only going to look at page 1, and page 7. They don't know how to read it, and this is how they hide fees. So how do MSPs determine what tier a transaction falls into, qualified, mid, or non-qualified? Transactions are downgraded or penalized when they do not meet interchange requirements, okay? These transactions are deemed risky and charged a higher fee. So one could be the type of card used in the transactions: debit, credit, rewards cards, business cards. An international card, some European comes in and swipes a card, that's automatically risky. Automatically. Doesn't matter. If it's a straight debit account, no matter. It's right there risky. On interchange it's not, but on the tiered pricing, yes. Whether the card's used in a restaurant, retail, gas, B2B, e-commerce. You look at your transactions. If you're being charged mid and non-qualified just because of your industry, that's ridiculous. You'll never get these qualified rates just because of the type of transactions you're doing. Get on interchange. You will pay wholesale rates. If it's swiped, if it's over the phone, if it's e-commerce, it can be deemed risky. What information is captured, if the address isn't properly captured, if the signature or the PIN is accidentally keyed in wrong, boom, risky. 7%, 5%, risky, right there. And they're not notifying you, oh, you're getting risky transactions. And they love to charge you your risky transactions. Whether your transaction is processed daily, is batched out and processed daily, you'll fall into a higher. If you don't process or batch your transactions daily, you'll fall into a higher or riskier transaction. So let's look at it. The MSP determines when a transaction is downgraded into a tier with a higher rate. The only way a merchant can find out is by looking at their statements, and most business owners have no idea how to read their statements. Statements are a confusing mess on purpose. Processors hide fees under different acronyms, different titles on different rows, different line items. You cannot read them unless you're a professional. Statements are several pages long. Okay. So, in truth, most transactions are safe. Think about it. When you pay with your card, you swipe, you key in your PIN, you sign, and that's it. You go home. You take your product. That's a safe transaction, and let's look at the interchange table. A traditional CPS retail is at 1.51 plus a 10% authorization. It's very low. Look at this, CPS, 0.8 of a percent, 0.8% plus a 15 authorization fee. This one's 1.55. That's incredibly low. When somebody's used to paying 3 or 4%, you show them that table. I'll email you this. Show them that table. Wow, that's big. So let's ask these businesses, why are you being charged a higher rate on these so-called risky transactions? Do you think your transactions are risky? Are you doing good business here? Yeah, you're working hard, right? Why are you being charged for these risky transactions? Why are there fees hidden on your statement? This is where you come in. You get your clients set up correctly on interchange plus pricing. You get them wholesale processing rates. Okay, that's it. Give me 2 months of your credit card processing statements. If I can't save you money, I'm going to give you a $100 bill. That's it. Simple as that. What do you got to lose? 2 statements, I get your proposal within a week. Here's a proposal I'm going to get you within a week. If I can't save you money, $100. Either you go with me or not. Let's find out what you should be paying. Right? Alright, call us with questions. 310-849-1502. Check this, creditcardtraining.wordpress.com under tiered pricing.